Ahom itikwiye oyasen. Jai Bhagwan. Namaste. Haush. Us. Welcome home, my family, my brothers, my sisters. Welcome home. Ho'oponopono. 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 Let us begin with continuing to fill. Okay. Perhaps beginning with the little Priscilla. And as a matter of fact, I'm wondering if the water level is perfect or what is needed. In order to lay back, I do have to take off my sacred hat. I am going to begin with this for a moment. It does seem like the water level is pretty perfect if I am listening. Also, only be appropriate, take a dunk. I do have some really cool, awesome shorts on as well. So here we go, dunk, first dunk. Now that is wonderful. Yes. Okay, now, well, maybe I should share with you after a little bit more playing, but I do have a little bit of reading I would like to do. But first, let's try not to get Priscilla completely ruined. Can you hear it vibrating throughout the bathtub? It's like adding this extra oomph, you could say, especially like certain strings. Un momento. Let me see here. Shane, I think I got it. I'm going to have to ask you to resend me, but it seems like I have what I need. So for this, I will little yee-hoo. Okay. So let me see here, and I shall find the specifics. Okay. So I'm going to start. Let me first find the number I am looking for. Like flowers on my face. Totally normal. Okay, so bear with me as I bring about, as Shane has requested, this special reading. Let me look at the number here. I'm going to start with Psalm 61. Let's see if I can pull it up. Okay. It goes, to the choir master with stringed instruments of David. Hear my cry, O God, listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Let me dwell in your tent forever. Let me take refuge under the shelter of your wings. Salah. For you, O God, have heard my vows. You have given me the heritage of those who fear your name. Prolong the life of the king. May his years endure to all generations. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day. The second one called for sharing is Psalms 23. Let me flip the pages here. And here we are. A Psalm of David. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And next, Shane has requested Psalm 37. Bear with me. I am reading and working. And here we are. Psalm 37 of David. Fret not yourself because of evildoers. Be not envious of wrongdoers,
For they will soon fade like the grass and wither like the green herb. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and befriend faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him, and he will act. He will bring forth your righteousness as the light, and your justice as the noonday. Be still before the Lord and wait patiently for him. Fret not yourself over the one who prospers in his way, over the man who carries out evil devices. Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not yourself, it tends only to evil. For the evildoer shall be cut off, but those who wait for the Lord shall inherit the land. In just a little while, the wicked will be no more. Though you look carefully at his place, he will not be there. But the meek shall inherit the land, and delight themselves in abundant peace. The wicked plots against the righteous and gnashes his teeth at him. But the Lord laughs at the wicked, for he sees that his day is coming. The wicked draw the sword and bend their bows to bring down the poor and needy, to slay those whose way is upright. Their sword shall enter their own heart, and their bows shall be broken. Better is the little that the righteous has than the abundance of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. The Lord knows the days of the blameless, and their heritage will remain forever. They are not put to shame in evil times. In the days of famine, they have abundance, but the wicked will perish. The enemies of the Lord are like the glory of the pastures. They vanish. They vanish away. But the wicked will perish. The enemies of the Lord are like the glory of the pastures. They vanish. Like smoke, they vanish away. This is my first time reading this one, okay? The wicked borrows but does not pay back, but the righteous is generous and gives. For those blessed by the Lord shall inherit the land, but those cursed by him shall be cut off. The steps of a man are established by the Lord when he delights in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be cast headlong, for the Lord upholds his hand. I have been young, and now I am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging for bread. He is ever lending generously, and his children become a blessing. Turn away from evil and do good. So shall you dwell forever, for the Lord loves justice. He will not forsake his saints. They are preserved forever, but the children of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell upon it forever. The mouth of the righteous utters wisdom, and his tongue speaks justice. The law of his God is in his heart. His steps do not slip. The wicked watches for the righteous and seeks to put him to death. The Lord will not abandon him to his power or let him be condemned when he is brought to trial. Wait for the Lord and keep his way, and he will exalt you to inherit the land He will exalt you to inherit the land. You will look on when the wicked are cut off. I have seen a wicked, ruthless man spreading himself like a green laurel tree. But he passed away, and behold, he was no more. Though I sought him, he could not be found. Mark the blameless, and behold the upright, for there is a future for the man of peace. But transgressors shall be altogether destroyed. The future of the wicked shall be cut off. The salvation of the righteous is from the Lord. He is their stronghold in the time of trouble. The Lord helps them and delivers them. He delivers them from the wicked and saves them because they take refuge in him. This is a little exciting for me because I have recently learned about strongholds and how the enemy can have strongholds over us, basically in contracts or binds to have us behave and think in certain ways that are of, you could say, his way instead of Yahweh. And I also love how the word delivers is in here, because I've recently learned about another thing called deliverance ministry. And that's been very, very healing to me as I am working through my own personal demons, you could say. And so it's very, very touching. So thank you, Shane, for asking and calling upon this to be read. I can thank my coworker for this perfect little travel size book I have here where I was able to read and share with you. I have also granted a request that I know I said that I wasn't going to do. Shandel Vidal, it's so nice to have you here, sister. I have not forgotten you. I have a special book I would love to send to you. It's so nice to see you in the comments, girl. Oh my god. I can feel your positive energy. Thank you. I'm excited to meet you in person. Thanks. I blush. This means I love you in American Sign Language. This is the I, this is the L, this is the Y. So I love you. That is yellow. It's true. Bless me. Sana spiritual, sana Om. I hurt my knee at work yesterday. And it's totally like kind of killing me to be on my knee. So let me keep soaking it in the salt. I'm also gonna need to do another dunk. So take this guy off and soak. Yeah. Sana, 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 sana. Sana Espiritu. Sana mi alma. Sana mi alma. Sana mi alma. Sana mi alma. Sana Espiritu. Let's add a little bit more hot water and also dry me off a little bit more. And then we'll play with Francesca and Angelica. Okay, so because in the comments you're asking, I will answer you. So these are actually scars, and they come from working with something that is called Kambocito, also known as Kambo, Kambo. So you can feel free to research this. Also, this is a little thing called henna. If you've never seen henna art before, it's kind of like a stain, and I have a friend of mine who does lovely, lovely, lovely work. And I love receiving her offerings of henna. And for me, it's kind of like a sacred prayer, you could say. However, from my understanding, it's no representation of being close with God or anything, at least from what I have been taught from those I've sat with before. However, I have been taught by a really lovely Muslim woman how in her culture, or from where she's coming from, it's a chance for the women to be closer together, and kind of like creating that bond is the way she explained it to me. And she's the only one who has ever kind of explained like a spiritual practice or like womanhood explanations of these beautiful creations. And I've always carried on the tradition, you could say, after receiving from her in Florida. So I was very grateful to have met my friend, who she is very well in her work, you could say. So let's play a little Francesca and Angelica. Yeah, Mike, I've actually worked with Kambo like 16 times, and each time they do about 3 dots. I'm not sure if you can see like other scars and whatnot, but this is my most recent working with Kambo. This was a self-treatment. I have been trained of working with this beautiful sacred medicine, and it's been intense. It always brings up some very, very powerful emotions, and it also completely cleanses my body for me and my nervous system, and kind of helps repattern my mind. And it's just been a very blessing to learn from the indigenous of just like the carriers of the, you could say, the knowing of this information. And it's helped me with a lot of different things. And this last time was actually very, very rough because I had not worked with the medicine since Colombia. And so you could say I am trained to do things a little differently, such as leaving the medicine on until it dries instead of taking it off after the first getting well or purging into the bucket. And it just brought up a lot of things for me that I've stuffed down a very, very long time. So that can be overwhelming, but it's also a medicine within itself if you've been kind of cut off from yourself and not allowing yourself to feel and process some things that you may have experienced in your life. However, if you were to study like the scientific like documentaries or documents or journals or whichever way you choose to investigate Kambo, Kambo, there's so many different things. I would not say it's for everyone because it can be very, very dangerous, especially if you are someone who is going to lie to your practitioner about things that you're taking, things that just really just would not be good to combine, kind of like how some people like to drink and take their medications. It's kind of just as bad kind of thing. So if it's speaking to you, perhaps you can seek out a local practitioner and tell them what your problems are, like if you have Lyme disease or certain other issues that are kind of affecting your body. For me, it was very helpful to find a natural medicine. This is kind of a poison from a frog, if we're completely transparent. You can, again, do your own homework. I mean, a lot of things kind of come from like other things. Penicillin comes to mind, but again, doing your own homework and allowing yourself to kind of be your own healer instead of relying on other people. And as far as Lucas is making demands and commands of what I am to do and how I should perform and behave, Lucas, please, how many times have I enforced my boundaries and stated to you that I am not a human being who enjoys being told what to do by you, especially since you are a person who is in refusal of being a financial supporter to my life? You refuse to assist me. You do not care if I eat. You do not care about my personal sufferings or who I am as a person. You have an interest in your personal obsession, which for you is the hair. And I am very grateful for your vulnerability and comfortability and your transparency. But at the same time, please respect and honoring to the individuality of my soul. If there was an equal energetic exchange, you could say, where maybe I'm being hired for work of creating art with the hair, doing whether it's a haircut or whatever thing that you are trying to control and influence and change me. I'm not saying that I will agree to whatever thing for a money tag. But I am saying, like, could we at least have some like equal exchange of energy? Like, I am always listening to you, so will you listen to me? Will you listen to my feelings and my dreams and my wishes? And then most of all, how will you contribute to me having my dreams met? If it's your dream for me to cut my hair, then what is the trade? What dream of mine will you grant? You see? Will you help me go to school to be an acupuncturist? Will you make sure that I am in a better position and that I can better feed my cat and myself and have a roof over my head? Or again, are you after only your selfish desires and unable to really see the complete totality that is me? Many times when we are in our anguish, we cannot assist the other. If I am too blinded by my own suffering, how can I see yours? How can I be there for you if I am so deep in my own? Does this make sense? Unless maybe we are both going through the same struggle, the same abuse, or maybe if I've lived there before where you are now, and I don't mean physically, right? My Uncle Frank teaches this. I lived there. I don't live there anymore. Like, I'm not in that situation anymore. I'm not going through that, and I choose not to again. Okay? Yes. Yes. Gracias. Gracias. So again, back to the harmonica. Thank you for the 8 thumbs up. Like, every little bit of just like, showing love and support, like the intention, is there. It's hard to put into words. So again, back to the harmonica. I'm gonna flip it. It'd be like kind of like funny and entertaining. Like, so if you are someone who is here and can see the comments, and if you personally were receiving these comments, such as, Mike here asking me for a chopping of my hair and to buy it, like, what would your response be? What would you say? You know what I mean? Like, also another funny thing is like, how much is that really worth? Someone wants to take your genetics. They want to hold on to your personal energy. They want a lock of your hair. Like, is that not priceless? You know what I mean? Like, so many different dimensions of here. Thank you so much for your appreciation of my productions. I can see your comments, and I appreciate the positive contributions. But again, the sense of humor in my mind comes from, again, like, pretend you're me. What is your reply, like, to these things? I'd love to know, like, how can I appropriately respond without having like rude or aggression or like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to hurt anybody. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. But like, it'd be nice to get the point across of being like, dude. And also like the flip side, right? Like, the flip side would be like, maybe I don't want the job of chopping my hair to survive. Like, maybe I just want to play the harmonica. I'm just using this as an example. But like, how can we get into a position where another person can value what I choose to offer instead of you trying to use me like a tool, right? Or an instrument or a thing. Like, again, the flip side, again, I have many different questions, and I'm learning through my personal experience, and I'll continue to share my personal journey, like how I manage and things like that as God, you could say, as God grants me permission to do so, or just even the laws of nature, or just physics, or just what ends up happening from my free will, or whichever way you choose to see that. Are we gonna make jokes about selling the bath water? I'm like, I'm not selling them for $30 a jar like that famous girl did, okay? I'm like, my jars are $100. And even then, questionable. Like, again, do I even really want to be in this business? I don't think so. Although I totally respect what that chick did. And it's kind of sad she just disappeared. But again, very genius. Very, very genius. Props to you if you know who I'm mentioning. So. Alpha. I kind of like your mind state, Alpha Bravo. Alpha Bravo's comment is like, just ignore the comments and just keep playing the harmonica. I couldn't, like, I saw the comment and I was just so like, I can't even help. Thank you, Chandel. Yes, okay, I feel you guys. Okay, it's just hard. Like, there's all this like pressure and expectations and stuff. Like, how am I supposed to just relax when there's all like this control and force and manipulation and financial domination? People trying to use like money to like make me do things that I normally wouldn't do, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It just doesn't feel right. 8 gallons. Oh man. How am I supposed to know that you're serious or not? Okay, there's actually a girl who like did that. Wasn't it like Bella Delphine or something like that? Maybe it's Belle. Maybe it's Belle Delphine. No, but I love the joke of like imagining the idea that someone is like popping, like, right, like a fan, like, woo, like, oh my god, I got 8 gallons of this bathwater. Like, to me, that's entertaining thought. Perhaps that's my ego, but again, it's kind of humorous, a little humorous for me. Everyone is a me in their own way. I like that comment too. That's a really good comment. Yeah, thanks. Like, you saw that? I'm gonna try to like just get comfortable again, because again, my knee is not happy. I slammed it pretty badly. Ugh. It's like the bone is bruised or something. Rah, rah, rah. All right, I'm not feeling Francesca and Penelope anymore. I keep trying to like go onto my kneecap, but like every time I do that, it's like a painful reminder. So let me again try to chill. And I'll bring back the Priscilla. And try not to destroy her. Oh yeah. Also try not to show my shorts. There's another situation that's simultaneously happening where I can feel like all the different degrees and variations of individuals in the stream. And I can feel how, like, you could say how each individual requires a different song. So it's kind of difficult to kind of hear all the different harmonies that are kind of happening and to kind of allow the complete surrendering, especially like if there's like, you could say fragmentation happening, like where one half of the group would benefit from healing or hearing this aspect versus the other way. So it kind of makes me want to I don't think that it's so much that we want to see things in a negative light. It's just that we've been conditioned or trained to kind of look for these things, to behave from a space of fear or control or individuality or, again, programming. So, yeah, the harmonica is definitely a unique and odd instrument, and it is kind of unique in itself to kind of find your own tune. Bravo! I love what you're channeling. I'm just like you. I don't know any notes. I just like to play. I have a song that keeps wanting to come out, and I'm kind of like in the struggle of surrendering to that. So I'm going to do a dunk, and then I think I will attempt my best to surrender. The salt water is just so healing for me. It's like the best. Look, you're not wrong. Another thing hard to do is to like keep like a beat over here and then to let a completely different sound come out of here. Especially doing them at the same time, like, I don't know if it eventually becomes just like a rhythm and like a natural flow, or if the person still in their subconscious mind is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Like, I'm not sure. So I would love to pick the brain of an actual musician who can kind of do percussion and like sing at the same time, because it's something that I definitely struggle with. Are you ready? Oh, porque te quiero tanto. Porque te quiero tanto, porque te quiero tanto, con todo mi corazón, henna, henna, oh, porque te quiero tanto, porque te quiero tanto. porque te quiero tanto, con todo mi corazón. Henna, henna, oh, porque te quiero tanto, porque te quiero tanto, porque te quiero tanto, con todo mi corazón. Henna, henna, oh, because I love you so much. Because I love you so much. Because I love you so much with all of my heart. Hey Anna, hey me, oh, hey. Porque te quiero tanto. Porque te quiero tanto. Porque te quiero tanto, con todo mi corazón. Hey Anna, hey me, oh, hey. Ah, hey, hey, oh, yeah. Why, hey, oh, yeah. Ah, hey, hey, oh. Yeah, no, quiero, yeah. Ah, hey, hey, oh, yeah. Why, hey, oh, yeah. Ah, hey, hey, oh, yeah, no, quiero, yeah. Con te huasca, oxila. Aquí estima an hefe que stay weke loye oye waye oye con te huasca oxila, aquí estima, ane peke uaste, weke lo. Ahiye kiyoye, waye kiyoye, ahiye kiyoye, loele kiyoye. Con te huasca oxila, aquí estima. Ane peke wase weke no ye. Ho'oponopono. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. Try saying ho'oponopono to yourself. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. If you need to send this prayer out to someone else or to Creator or to yourself, ho'oponopono. 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 Something like this. I tried. Maybe if I was writing it down. Can be sure, maybe, questionable, but still. I have another one, and again, one of the best things that I can encourage you is to try to sing along. It's okay if we are singing like my eye is like seconds before your eye, if that makes sense, okay? Or like my word that I say is like a few seconds before yours. In Kirtan, we call this call and response. And for me, I love the idea of, again, the harmony. So Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. Nichi tai tai NUI, Oranika, hey, 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 oh, I. How about Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah, Om Namah. Or one of my favorite ones at the ashram was Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Om Mata Kali, Om Mata Durga, Kali Durga, Namo Namah. Kali Durga, Namo Namah. My first Sanskrit I have learned was let me see if I can get it. Come on. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Om Gam Ganapataye Namo Namah. Technically, without me realizing it, my first bola was Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama. I read the Bhagavad Gita in a certain section before where it talks about the chanting of the Maha Mantra. And it talks about when we are saying the mantra without even knowing what it means. and how like it's a totally different effect when we're contemplating the meaning of the words or actually understanding maybe the meaning of the words. I would love to find the exact space in the book where I have randomly, opened one time and came across this. But I've had so much bliss from the Hare Krishna mantra. And from my understanding of the mantra, Hari is like victory. And then Krishna is a word for God. And then so you're saying Hare Krishna, so it's like victory to God, Krishna, God, Hare Rama, that's Hare Rama, like victory. From my understanding, maybe Rama is another word or name, or like Rama, and Hari, victory. I always found the Hare Krishna prayer very interesting because it's like a prayer that is saying, give victory to God, instead of us saying, please help me. Instead, it's like, no, let's make you stronger. Let's make you more powerful, you more merciful, you more loving. It's like, it's different. It hits different. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes. I've been to the Hare Krishna temple of Florida, and I've had that experience where they say Hare Krishna as a greeting. So I'm very familiar with that. Bravo. Thank you for reminding me and giving me a flashback of that positive memory of being there at that temple. It was just so amazing. So amazing. I've been so blessed to have sat in so many different singing circles, and I would love to continue to do that. Unfortunately, due to many lockdowns happening, I have been missing out, you could say, of this really beautiful thing. I would love to come to be friends with people who are living this lifestyle, like people who have their drums and they chant Hare Krishna, by themselves. There are times where I'm chanting the mantra and I'm like, oh my God, did I skip something? Did I go from Hare Rama to Hare Krishna? Like, doubting and questioning my devotional service, you could say. And it's been thank you, Alpha. I recently released a video saying like, hey Trina, how can you support me? And one of the things on there is teaching me something new. So thank you. You don't know what that means to me. Thank you. I am currently no longer living in Florida. If you have not known this, I have been out of my so-called home state for over a year now. And it's been very, 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 very difficult to adjust to the cold and so many other circumstances of just, people living differently around here, you could say. So at the moment, the current state I'm in is actually like pretty extreme. They've had a statewide mask mandate since April last year, something like that. Indoor and outdoor expectancy. So not my favorite. And I have been shown a really amazing song that I've totally been able to share on certain other platforms, because I'm most positive is not welcome here to sing that song. But on my subscription website, for my fans only, I have totally released that video. I'm pretty sure I put that there. I know for a fact that I put it out on Snapchat a while ago, but I'm not sure for sure if I put it on the other place. But I'm pretty sure I did. I remember it taking a really long time to wait for the video to upload to their interface. But again, no guarantees. But if you are a fan on there, and if you know, feel free to let me know that for sure that video is on there. I can also check at a later time. Yes, I am in a state where it gets snow, and it's been difficult on some levels because I've recently started a new job position that has me working outside in every single condition you can imagine. And that has its benefits in some levels, right? The conditioning of the human body and mind to be able to undergo extreme pressures or missions, or it certainly is a mission or a job, right? To go under such, you could say, external stress. George. So I'm thinking a little bit more of this guy. We can all thank Shane. Thank you, Shane. Pay it forward. I would also like to say that if any emotions or feelings or thoughts or things that you have stuffed down are suddenly coming to surface, please try to listen. I'm not saying for you to obey and agree if they are negative thought forms and emotions. I'm simply asking you to listen as a witness, and then maybe giving yourself permission to slow down and to nurture or do what needs to be done to effectively hear these internal messages from the cells, from the feelings, the self, cells and feelings, okay? Body, speech, and mind in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of this bell. May the hearers awaken from forgetfulness and transcend the path of anxiety and sorrow. Hush, hush. Ush, 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 ush. Sana, 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 sana. Sana espírito, calma espírito, calma, 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 calma corazón. Calma, calma mente, calma, calma. Sana, sana, sana. Ush, 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 ush. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Alaikum assalam. Sana, sana, sana. Sana, sana, sana. And now, oh, of course I am missing Florida all the time. There's so many open waters to dive. So many sacred forests and lands. Although some major corporations are milking them for their water because water is currently on the stock market. But still, I have such love and reverence for these sacred geographical locations. Sana, sana, sana. Oh my God, Chandel, you should send me a text message like right now. Sana, sana, sana. Thank you, Bravo, again for teaching. Thank you. Osho. Osho is a place as well, not just a Guru. Well, I'm going to play just a little bit longer. I hope you have enjoyed this free sharing and that it reaches you well. You can send a prayer of thank you. You can pay it forward. If you have seen this or know what this means, what it means to pay it forward. Sometimes I want to draw the diagram. If I had like one of those crayons right now, I totally would draw you. Like, it's tempting me. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a crayon. All right, I'm gonna try this blue. Actually, blue is empty and I totally need more of these. Okay, I'm gonna try to copy the little kid's drawing. Okay, you ready? So here's this one person. Okay. And then this person is gonna help 3 other people. I'm not like an amazing artist or anything, okay? And then after we help these 3 people are going to help 3 other people. Okay? And then again, those 3 people will help 3 other people. And I'll encourage them to help like people who can never pay you back. Like things like this, people really in need. And then like, I know again, like I got lazy in my drawing, but basically this pans out pretty quick, right? So you got this one person helps this person helps 3 other people, this person. And this can be like whether you're feeding someone who has a need for a warm meal, or maybe you're seeing a person who lives on the streets and you say, hey, what do you need right now? Like maybe they need a pair of gloves, or maybe they need a new hat. And maybe you ask him like, okay, what's your favorite color? What's your size? And you go on a mission, and maybe God has written the law in your heart, right? Like, or has written you instructions. And you're like, all right, I'm being guided to go to this store. Something's telling me to go here. Oh, and I know they just said they like this, but I'm going to pick this up too. And like, I'm going to make up some scenario for you, okay? So like, let's say we like get the person the gloves and the jacket or whatever they asked for. And then like something tells us, let's go to the store and get like a like hot chicken that's made out of the deli. And then let's say we get there and it turns out the person is like, I really don't like chicken, you know? And then you're like, okay. And then you put the chicken in your car and you go for a drive, and then you see another guy and you're like, hey dude, I got this chicken. You hungry? It's fresh, it's new, it's untouched. And he would be like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this, but I was literally just praying. I wish I had some hot chicken right now because I need some protein. Or like, I don't know, maybe they're an O blood type, you know, or I don't know. Like maybe they just like needed that. I can tell you from my own personal experience, there was this time where I was driving and I'm totally tempted to get into it. So I'm just going to get into it, okay? So this is the whole story. So it's Thanksgiving. And at the time, I'm living in St. Augustine. And at the time, my closest family member is my grandma Candy, who is actually in a home where she cannot remember who we are. And still, I'm guided to go there. Impulsively, randomly, had no plan to go there. And I go there. And when I get there, it's great because right away, she recognizes me for just a moment. And within 15 minutes, she forgets who I am. But for those 15 moments, it was really, really beautiful. And I became so pained, you know, through the whole, like, you could say roller coaster of experience of like, grandma remembers me, and it's such a beautiful thing to be spending time with grandma on this holiday, holy day, right, of Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful that she's still around, and I'm showing love. And then so, like, after she forgets me, it's hard for me, so I leave. And I'm on the drive home, and I'm like, God, I'm so stupid. I didn't get anything to eat, and I didn't bring anything to drink, like, and I didn't take care of myself, and I'm giving myself a hard time because like I didn't take care of myself. You know what I mean? So like I started to crash because I'm hungry and I'm tired from just like the spending of emotional energy. And then I drive past this place. And this place is the Amrit Institute. It's a yoga institute. And there was a psychic in Casadega who had predicted that I would go on to there and to learn to work in pranayama, which is breath work. And at the time, like I'm basically rolling my eyes at this guy, Joy Sagar, in Casadega, because I was like, what? You know what I mean? Because at the time, you could say I really took my breath for granted. I really had no understanding of my purpose or who I was or what I wanted to do or why I was here. I just had all these feelings of like, you could say not wanting to be here, wanting to go home, and just again, not understanding the mission and things like this. So remembering what he said, I pulled over, and the establishment at the time was closed. And I was guided to still park, and you could act like I walked in there like I owned the place kind of thing. I just was walking barefoot on the ground, just exploring the entire institute. I didn't have any education or any awareness of what this place was or anything. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, this is cool. The gates are open. I didn't know that it was like an ashram, that people live here and had like this community and stuff like that there. And like, this guy sees me and he kind of just like, kind of like ignores me or whatever. He just like lets me go on. And then like I'm walking around, and this lady, this little old German lady, she comes out and she says, you want to come into the kitchen? And maybe I should also include that before this, I was saying a prayer like, God, I wish I had some hot tea. I want some hot tea and some bread. Like, even if I just had bread, I would be so fine. It would just hold me over. And like, I was literally praying for these two things. I actually remember saying it out loud in my car as I was driving. I was like, oh, I want, like, God, I wish this. And maybe it wasn't really like out loud, okay? It might be confabulating the out loud exact part, but I remember like it being really clear of like, I'm saying these very specific things. And then like this woman comes out, and then she invites me into the kitchen, and then of course, what do you think she offers me? Like sometimes I'm wondering like, how can I even doubt the existence of some type of creator energy after I've had so many like disconfirming experiences kind of thing, So this lady, of course, she offers me hot tea and bread, and it's really wonderful. And she leaves for a while, and then she says, Guru would like to meet you. And I was like, what? You know what I mean? I didn't know what that was at the time. I was like, okay. And turns out this place was actually his home. And turns out Amrit had told her specifically to invite me into his home. And at the time, some people were looking at me in a little bit of disgrace, the current like people taking care of the home at that time, or you could say the lands or the institute, okay? And they're like, they said very clearly to me, sometimes like people are at this guy's feet, so they're kind of shocked. Like I'm just like walking in there playing with this guy's crystals on his table, and like it's such like a little kid, I'm like a little kid like looking around like the furs and just the interior decorating and how cool the couch was and stuff. And he sits on the couch across from me, it's like we were like lifetime friends or whatever. And it's like he really saw me, you know what I mean? And like I remember just being really touched. Like I felt like I had a familiar. I felt like I had a friend. And I got really struck to the nerve that day. And after walking out by the water, I think I still have videos to this day from this moment. So you can actually like look up, November, whatever, like the Thanksgiving. Might have been, I want to say 2018, 2019. It could be way off. Could be 2019. I want to say 2018. But basically, like, I was just like completely mesmerized, and I ended up being guided or pressed on my spirit without having any education of what they do there. I was guided to leave my house at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and it was an hour drive to go back out to that exact place. And I ended up sitting in the darshan room and doing morning yoga. And then after morning yoga, they would offer you breakfast for donation. And then in this facility, they would all grow their own food right on the land. And like each person that was living there had worked out a trade kind of thing, that like this person cleaned the dishes, this person did the laundry, this person tended to the guests, this person ran this massage facility or things like this, right? And like just the food was phenomenal. Like it was all Ayurvedic, like perfect dieta, and it was amazing. And then after that, they would do yoga nidra, and yoga nidra, I joke, is like savasana the entire time, like where you're basically like corpse pose, like dead, but you're not to fall asleep. Like they lead you in this beautiful guided meditation. And I would love to go through their training of actually learning how to like lead people in a proper professional yoga nidra, because it's just so beautiful. Like when you participate in that at the darshan room, like I used to be flooded with just like, you could say grace or love from God. And I would have like all these messages. And at the time, like I didn't know any better. And I just started to like go up to people and say, hey, can I have your permission to share this with you? I'm getting this message. And there was a time where I actually got in trouble because I told this guy something that I think was a little too close to home kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I said something that kind of hurt by being honest about like his knee injury and his connection to his father and things like that, and the correlation and the symbolism and things like this. And although he had given me permission, you could say he told on me to someone important there. And Kalindi basically told me that I had to have permission in order to come. And it became really, really hard to go back after that. And it was very humiliating for me in some levels because I remember she said something to me that was along the lines of like how Jesus, I can't remember the exact teaching, but I remember she used Jesus as an example. How like it was, I want to say it was something along the lines of just like about like not speaking it, you know. It's difficult, and I apologize for like oversharing, you could say, on some levels. But again, like you never know what people are praying for, you know, and if you get this push on your spirit to supply and offer this, like, hey, are you thirsty? Or something like that, like you'll never know. You know what I mean? And then sometimes by, again, you just putting yourself out there like, hey, guy on the street, are you thirsty? Here, I got this fresh, unopened bottle of water. Is there anything you need? So again, pay it forward if it resonates with you. And like, I'd like to go a little further of saying, like, if you take time to like pray or really connect, you could say to your higher self, higher power, your angels, God, you can ask specific questions and advice, and it'll come so very clear over your consciousness. Like, I want you to help Trina in this way, or offer her this, or do this for this person, or you're going to see someone that reminds you of this person, and I want you to help this person instead. It'll be very obvious to you. And if you're not sure, you can always ask the person. You can say, hey, I'm getting this like tug at my spirit, or I'm getting pushed, or I feel this energy, or I'm not sure how you'll communicate that, right? Like you got this impulse or something like that. So again, communicate with the person like, hey, by any chance do you need this, or do you like this? And there's no punishment if you don't listen, essentially. Like sometimes that Ho'oponopono energy back at yourself too, right? Because you didn't listen, and you knew if you would have listened, maybe you wouldn't have gotten hurt or gotten into a certain position, because you didn't listen to that internal guidance system or that soft speaking voice and things like this. Laughing yoga, that sounds wonderful. Yes, she gave me tea. I'm catching up with the comments. Thank you for listening to my story. True story, like all the different dimensions of that. And what a great chapter of my life that really was. So if you're in Florida and you have the power and the ability, and if the facility is open, please experience the darshan room and sitting with Amrita Sai. I am very aware that there are so many different rumors about different individuals. However, again, I will encourage you to not punish them. That is not your place to judge them for their sexuality or their individuality as a person. They're all very, very beautiful people. And we all make mistakes, and we all learn in different ways and in different times. And I am not a believer in reprimandment kind of thing. So there's gentle ways, gentle ways. You don't have to cut the thief's hand off. You know what I mean? Like, there are other ways to teach a kid that is stealing to not do that. There are other ways. And sometimes they have to fall on their own sword, as I have been taught. Okay. Oh my God, Mr. Bravo. There are so many. So many. So I'm going to play a little Priscilla, and then I am going to disappear from this live stream. I'm going to drink so much water because I'm so thirsty. So, hold for a photo. Okay. I'm pretty fried. I'm in no heart space to be able to keep playing. I'm very, 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 very thirsty. And there's 8 limbs of yoga, okay, if you go off of that. Yes, there are many other forms, like you are mentioning, yin yoga, kundalini yoga, bhakti yoga. I'm not seeing bhakti yoga or raja yoga inside your mentionings. So I would encourage you to do your homework. There are some amazing books that are released at Hare Krishna temples that kind of talk about yoga and what yoga means to them. So if you will give yourself permission to allow your mind to kind of be changed or to hear different words and thoughts and processes that are not of normal range. So this is available to you. You can go into any Hare Krishna temple. Most of the time, they have all of the books there, and they're happy to accept a donation in exchange for a copy of the Gita or whichever book you are guided to at the time. I want to say a Swami Prabhuhara or something like this. I'm still very, very new and not really knowing of anything. Thank you so much for spending time with me. If you choose to send a donation after this live stream, there is always a link available to you. However, at the same time, there is no expectation of such service. So again, thank you for allowing me to share with you what I have received. I will be back again. I have lots of videos that I am still going to upload. And I have so many other news updates and things like this for you. However, at this time, I am going to run. I love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Aho, ho'oponopono jai bhagwan. Namaste. Haush, haush. Us, us, us. Sana, sana, sana. Limpia, limpia.